of thought. The Prophet of Thought series.
Peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Prophet of Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you already know that. That's why you're here. Tonight, I have a very, very, very special guest tonight, y'all. This brother here, I mean, this dude is a fashion consultant. He's a cologne connoisseur. He's an image consultant, and I mean, a man about man code shit in the whole nine. He's that dude. This brother right here, I have immense respect for. I mean, immense respect for this brother. And tonight, you know, he's been on my stream before. And I mean, when I had him on the stream before, it was him and Brother Valdez. And we were actually talking about Brother Jap at the time. But now I'm going to get him one-on-one. So I'm going to have him hit y'all to the head with some of his fashion advice, some of his clothing advice, some of his cologne advice, and just some of his advice, period. Because tonight, Brother Samuels is live on T.P.O.T. And let me tell you something. I'm kind of excited because like I said, I got mad respect for this brother. And I think we are fortunate because there's a lot of us in the YouTube internet sphere, if you will. There's a lot of us in here. And when you get a brother like Kevin Samuels up in the sphere, I think it changes the game. I think it changes the standard. And I think it also changes, how we look at each other a little bit, because this brother he's just not the average YouTuber, like me. I mean, I'm just a YouTuber, but I mean, brother Samuels, he's a little more than a YouTuber, because this brother has all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, YouTube is a very, very small part of his package. So, I mean, when we got brothers like that in this sector of YouTube, we should consider ourselves very, very fortunate to have a brother like Brother Samuels up in the mix. What's up, Nisha Tats, Lady Nisha, Simply Deep, Soul Shader, Donnell, Water Sniper. Yeah, so we are very, very fortunate to have a brother like Kevin Samuels in this sector of YouTube, because I think he changes, like I said, changes the standard and changes, how we look at each other, because he talks a lot about men being the best men that they can, being the best them that they can possibly be. And I believe that when we got brothers like that in the mix, it kind of holds us all to a certain standard, to where we have to kind of, maybe change some things that we do, maybe start doing a little more. What's good, brother Valdez in the house, the Grinch God, brother Black Ram 313 in the house. What's good, brothers? Yeah, so I just think it changes the game, man, when you got brothers like Kevin Samuels in it, man, because this dude, man, I watch a lot of Kevin Samuels stuff, man, because I'm trying to step my fashion game up a little bit, because I am not fashionable worth a damn. I tell y'all that right now. I am not a fashionable person at all. So I look at Kevin Samuels, I listen to the things he says, the colognes he says to buy, the shirts to wear, how they supposed to fit, the jacket, the combinations. I take that shit in. I do. I take that shit in, because brother Samuels knows his shit, man. He does. He really knows his shit. So you brothers out there, you need to be watching some of Brother Samuels, man. I'm telling you, because he'll have you stepping your wardrobe game up, your cologne game up. He'll have you stepping your style game up. So y'all need to be tuning into his channel. As a matter of fact, if you look right here, I believe it is right down there, you will see Brother Samuel's stuff right down there. See, you look down there, you can see where you can subscribe to Brother Samuel's channel. Also, if you look down there and if you hit see more, you can actually see where to donate to old T.P.O.T. There's the Streamlabs and the PayPal, and of course our links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and everything else. So just look down there if you're interested. Okay, if you're feeling generous tonight, I may put the link in the chat room tonight, unless some of my moderators decide to do it. I'll put the link in the chat room tonight. Just look down there if you're feeling generous, and also make sure you hit this damn like button on the way in. That would be a good idea too. Hit that like button right there on the way in, because y'all know I hate when the viewing number is greater than the like number. I hate that. So when you come in, hit the damn like button. And if you ain't going to hit it when you come in, damn it, hit it on the way out. Jesus. It only takes a second. We go through this every week, so I guess we're going to go through it again. Take that hand, nice and slowly, and move it over right there. And you see that button, that one that goes like this? Just take that mouse and click it. and you're done. See how easy that was? Do you see how easy that was? What's up, Brother Faulkner in the house? So yeah, I wanted this brother on here tonight, man, because I think that a lot of times we get caught up in so much other stuff that we don't talk about, the man thing. We don't talk about how we should be dressing as men, how we should be acting as men, how we should be carrying ourselves as men. We get caught up. We get caught up in all the other, we get caught up in all the other stuff, man. And I think every now and then we need a brother like Brother Samuels to come in and be like, look, man, this is how you step your game up. This the hat you should wear. This the jacket you should wear. This the shirt you should wear. These the things you should say. This is how you should carry yourself. This is how you should sit. This is how you should stand. I mean, every now and then I think we need a little bit of that, man. We need an injection. We need an injection of, of man code, because a lot of times we be off of the man code. A lot of times we way off the man code, and every now and then, man, I think we need a man code injection. And brothers like Kevin Samuels, man, those are the brothers to give it to us, man, because not only do they know clothes and hats and cologne, they know style. They know man style. And I think a lot of us have either never had the understanding of that, and if we had the understanding of it, I believe some of us have lost it. So, I mean, it's always good to have a brother like I said, a brother like Brother Samuels up in the mix, because I know we all can learn things from this brother. I know we can. If we want to now, we have to want to, okay? We have to want to learn, because and not only that, we can know, but we also have to implement, okay? We have to want to learn, and once we learn, we know, and once we know, we have to implement, right? Because knowing, like I always say, knowing is only half the battle. The other half is implementation. Because I'll say this too. You can know what to do, but if you're not doing it, you're not too much better off than the person who doesn't know, because neither one of you is doing anything. So knowing is only half the battle. The other half is implementation. That's just a fact. And anyone that denies that is just crazy, because you can know all the things in the world, but if you're not implementing them, what good are they doing you? Knowledge is power when you put that knowledge to use to create the power. It's not power if you just have it and you don't use it for anything constructive. I mean, that's just a fact. You're not using that knowledge. You're not using that knowledge for something constructive. You might as well not even have it. It's wasted on you. There should be a big old extraction device where I can stick it in your head and extract it out of your head and put it in the head of somebody who doesn't have it and actually is going to use it for something, as opposed to it being wasted on you while you do nothing with it. You're doing nothing with it, so you don't need it. I'm just saying. It's just my opinion. You don't agree with what I said. My email is in the if you go to the about page or the message page on this here YouTube channel, you can send me some hate mail or something, but it is what it is. Facts are facts, even if we disagree with them, even if we don't believe them. And that's another thing we need to start to understand. Truth is truth. Okay. Truth is truth. And every brother who's on this, every brother who is in this sector knows and understands that, I believe. Because there's a lot of wisdom, there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of teachings in this sector. And I do believe that there's room for everyone. There's room for all things. There's room for all of this. But I think often what happens is we get these people who kind of infiltrate. They infiltrate in, and I guess they come in here and they try to influence. They try to influence others that the knowledge and the teachings that brothers are giving out are not valid, are not worthy, are not strong, don't mean anything. And I believe those brothers are a bigger problem than anything else. Because, see, it's one thing to disagree with someone, it's one thing to have a debate and two brothers have two different opinions. It's one thing for that, but it's another thing when brothers try to literally come in and dissuade you from dealing with someone else, dissuade you from listening to someone else, try to persuade you that this person that you've been listening to all this time and this person that you've learned so many things from doesn't know what you think they know, or this person isn't as smart as you may think they are because this person says so. Like, why people try to do that, I don't know. They really act like a bunch of nigger hoes, if you ask me. That's what I call them, nigger hoes. So I mean, they have this thing where they may even have a little platform of their own, and their platform is based on, literally based on, trying to tear down other brothers' ideology, tear down other brothers, other brothers' teaching, try to make us think that they are somehow smarter than the brothers that you learn from. Like, and the crazy thing is, most of the brothers who do it, I was talking about this earlier with brother Valdez and brother Cerulean. I mean, a lot of these dudes, man, that's trying to tell you how uh uneducated and ignorant other people are. These dudes can barely string a coherent sentence together. It's like they interrupt one damn incoherent sentence with another incoherent sentence. They have very little vernacular. They have a vocabulary about the size of maybe 200 words, but they're study telling you how this other person is stupid, how this other person is ignorant, and how this other person is. It's like, wait a minute, man. What are you talking about, man? You can't even string a sentence together. You got the vocabulary of a 5-year-old. So instead of listening to this person who drops all these jewels of wisdom on us, we should listen to this person who's probably 30 years old, but has a smaller vocabulary than someone a third of his age. I mean, come on, man. That doesn't make any sense. El Quizzle in the house. What's good, man? Brother Q Wilson. What's going on? We're just sitting here waiting for Brother Samuels to come through. I think because Brother Samuels was on he was on Black Ram show earlier, so he's probably gotta freshen up, get ready for the next appearance. Because he just strike me as that type of brother where he gonna go, and get ready, freshen up. Brother Samuels.
Hey, what's going on?
What's good, man? I was just talking you up, brother.
Man,
just talking you up.
I had a time down for 9:30 my time. I forgot. I was like, okay. He's on the East Coast. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
What's good, man? I was just up here talking about how we're fortunate to have brothers like you in this sector of YouTube. You make it so we got to keep things to somewhat of a higher standard, So yeah, I'm just basically doing that, right. Running my mouth. That
right.
too.
Right.
That too.
Well, if you were by Black Ram's channel, and it's so important for that digital footprint part of the image. We really got, in 50 years, people are going to realize how much of a revolutionary change this whole thing we're living through. to us, the changes just happened overnight. We are connected worldwide at the push of a button, bringing people into our personal spaces, into our on all these things. And after we put our content up, it's there to be judged and evaluated for better or worse. So I'm liking that we have such a diverse mixture, and we're taking the black male image back one piece at a time. So that's what's up.
Mhm. Well, you know what I'm going to ask you about, because I was just telling the folks, I was like, Brother Samuels, you know, that's the dude when it comes to, how to dress and, what colognes to wear. And, because I was just telling everybody, I'm not a fashionable dude at all. And I was telling them that I watch a lot of your shit, man. I watch a lot of your stuff. And, colognes that you said to buy, I have bought some of them, some of the shirts, like you say, buy the white t-shirts and the $40 t-shirts and the black $30 t-shirt. I have done it.
Right.
I have done it. And the crazy thing is, cause see, I'm a power mechanic. All right. That's what I do for a living. So I spend 6 days out the week covered in grease, oil, diesel, fuel, and everything else. So a lot of times the people see me, when they see me without that, they don't even recognize my ass.
Right.
They're like, damn, Xavier, especially if they see me with a shirt and tie or a nice jacket, I'm taking my wife out or something. I can't go out, can't take her out in my damn overalls covered with motor oil. So, brother got to clean up a little bit. And people see me, man. They're like, damn, man, you look different. You look a few shades lighter. You look like you done went in somebody else's closet and all that. So I was I was just telling the people that, when it comes to dress and fashion, and also, man code stuff, that you bring a lot to it, because you are a professional image guy. You're a professional image fixer, if you will.
Right.
So let me ask you a few questions, because I'm going to interview you a little bit, Brother Samuels, if you don't mind.
Okay.
First and foremost, what do you think the major sticking point of a black man's image is?
You mean for him or for how he's perceived?
How he's perceived, and him too. It could be a two-pronged question.
Okay. Most black men are perceived as being some form of threat, danger. So that is a challenge, unlike any other group of men, to where you think of Asian people, you think of smart or kung fu. you you see someone who, if they have distinctly Jewish features, you're thinking thrifty and money smart. Black men had our image so destroyed from, if you go back to 1915, Birth of a Nation, from that point on, we have been portrayed as subhuman. And up until the 60, up until the, actually up until the last 30 years, regardless as to how they portrayed us, it couldn't stick long term because we didn't carry ourselves this way. Let's go back to the civil rights movement. When we had to start getting people in middle America to feel the struggles that were going on in the South. Bloody Sunday, when they saw all those people across that bridge in Selma getting beat and all that stuff. What kind of stands out to me is how people saw that on TV, and for the first time, they had to deal with humanity, right? Now, Imagine if that same situation were to happen and those folks were already being looked at as dangerous and a threat. Would we have had as many people uh, coming out marching with us? Um, so I think that's a big thing. Men are just perceived as threats, and then black men. One of our biggest sticking points is how do I put this? Well, we're just pissed off that we got to do it. You know, black men have we built this country off the black backs of black slaves. You know, this is just much their country and my country is theirs, and you know we are here that images everything, and everybody got to play the game. But there's this part of black men who just one time want to be like, man, I'm tired of playing the game. When am I gonna be? When am I gonna be 100% human, 100% a man? At what point do I get to stop playing the game? And am I just equal? Um, so we got to overcome that more so than any other group before we can even accept the fact that image is everything and we got to play the game. So that's why I do so much of my channel as far as live streams uh, and education to actually try to speak to images that men have in general, but a lot of stuff that black men have in particular that nobody else really has to deal with or even understand. Because at the end of the day, um, black men have the most to gain from just doing small tweaks to their overall image. And image is not just your clothing. It's your appearance, your behavior, your communication, and in your online or your digital footprint. So let's just leave it there.
Do do you believe, Brother Samuels, that a lot of the problems we as black men encounter, not just with other ethnic groups and the police, that's one thing, but how we deal with each other, do you think image and the way we dress, do they play a big part in, you know, because I always thought that the way you dress, your clothes are somewhat of form of communication, are they not?
It is. It is definitely your communication. It's the way it's unspoken communication. You're talking to people across the room when they see you. So it is. You ever see pastors who will have like a mega church, and they'll do these like undercover experiments. They had a pastor that was posing as a homeless person out in front of his church, and his good Christian people were stepping over this homeless person who was begging for change or whatever to get into the church to make sure they got to hear the pastor speak. He wasn't in the pulpit. 30 minutes later, the pastor comes in the church dressed like that homeless person, and then people who stepped over him on the way into church felt mortified. And he's like, if you could do that to me, what are you doing in your regular life? You're doing that on the church campus. What are you doing in your regular life? But the reason they could do it is because they didn't view him as human. He wasn't. He lost his humanity. You want to treat somebody poorly. First, you dehumanize them. So, in general, our image as black men has been so assaulted by without and within that it is easier for us to act negative towards each other because our image is at the bottom. So ask yourself a question. I'm 49 years old. We always had, the hood dudes and such and so forth, and the kind of square dudes, right? The square dudes when I grew up, the square dudes were protected. We got a pass because we may not have been as down with the street stuff, but there was respect. Said that young blood gonna be something. Don't mess with young blood. Um, Nobody even there was a line. We had a code. Right now there is absolutely no code. Everything goes. That's why you can step on a brother's shoes in a club and end up dead. no code. So it would be more difficult to do that if when we saw each other on a daily basis, if we looked at each other with as men or with respect, um, and we can control how people perceive us by how we by our image. I can control that to a certain degree. I can't control well a lot, but I can control that. But it's a choice we have to make too.
So, as brothers, do you believe that, a lot of us sell ourselves short? Um, are we selling ourselves short when we're not uh dressing our best, trying to look our best? I mean, and me, like I said, I'm a power mechanic, so I wear a lot of dungarees and overalls, and because I'm always greasy and stuff like that. But it's not that often that I go out. Like when I go out with my woman,
Mhm.
all right, you won't see me like that. When I'm with her, I'm not going to be like that. You're not going to see me covered in oil. So, do you believe that we kind of sell ourselves short when we don't take the opportunity to look our best as much as we can?
Um, I believe that everybody sells themselves short when not being the best version of themselves. Yeah. Um, I was on Black Ram's channel, and one of the things that he was talking about is the hood kind of uniform: jeans, white T-shirt, some Air Force Ones, and a hoodie. That's something he said. I said, but at the end of the day, it's jeans, T-shirts, a hoodie, and some shoes. I'm wearing a white T-shirt, jeans, not wearing a hoodie, but it is a zip up uh, pullover, and I'm wearing some double monk shoes. One guy gets treated and looked at one way than the other. It doesn't take any more effort to dress like this and just be age appropriate and outcome uh, and thinking about your outcomes. Case in point, everything that you say you are. I'm a mechanic and I'm this and I'm that, such and so forth. But right here on your platform, why are you dressed in that shirt and tie?
Trying to look, trying to look like I give a damn, I guess. trying
Because
to, I want to put a particular image out, you know.
because you understand that the people who are watching you right now get down with you. The 25 people on here know you already know the kind of man you are, but the people who may stumble across this channel, those are the people you're communicating to in that thumbnail. The thing that they
Mhm.
see at a glance, you're communicating to them at a glance. That's image. It's unspoken. They won't know who X is until they click on that video and hear you talk for a little bit. But they got to look at and you're already telling them, I value me. I feel this is important. Therefore, I'm going to respect myself as a grown man and put together a a masculine, neat, professional image. We know the rules. Um, so choosing to not do that. Imagine if you just chose to say, "I know what this would do, but you know what? I don't feel like I should have to do that. I'm good. I'm just gonna come in here directly after work and then just go for it."
Come right in from the shop.
That would be the choice, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then, and that's the thing. What the outcomes you would get, you got to roll with those. So we do ourselves a disservice. So here's the thing: when we start talking about image, a lot of times guys think about fashion, brand names, and image is not that. It's unspoken communication, and we know that that's important, but we want to sit back and fight against it because honestly, like I said, a lot of times guys just don't want to do it, or we don't understand the importance. So what I try to do is get guys to understand how important it is. Number one, number two, that it doesn't cost you a lot of money and it's not complicated.
Mm.
So at that point, you can decide I'm going to be in my coveralls and do my shows, or I'm going to put on a shirt and tie and do my shows. It's all a choice.
Yeah. So what would you tell? Because unfortunately, luckily I'm a fortunate brother. I own a small business, so I can afford to go out and buy ties, buy shirts, and stuff like that. I can afford to do it.
Mhm.
Now, what do you tell the brother who may not have, a lot of money? He may be getting kicked in his ass, some child support. And, what do you tell those brothers who may not have, the money to go and buy, the more upper, the upper echelon wardrobe? What do you tell those brothers who live in tight on a budget?
For the ones who are really like that, which is less than 10%, I say focus on the fit of your clothing more than anything else. Does it fit you? Is it ironed? Is it neat? Shine your shoes. Change your shoelaces. You got cologne in your bathroom, put it on. Clip your fingernails. Clean out from under your fingernails. Edge up your beard. Get your lines tight. That ain't got nothing to do with money. Fit over fashion. Be neat. But if you watch the show I did with Ron Wills the other day, I was sitting up there in this nice black and white suit. And I told him I went out and bought this suit just for this broadcast. Cost $100. It costs half of what a pair of Jordans cost. So I reject the fact that most brothers are broke. We ain't broke. If you got on some Jordans, you can have a suit. You got on some Jordans, you can go buy nice t-shirt or a nice button up. It's just about priority. We don't prioritize it. And we end up using that as an excuse a lot of times to say, well, I ain't got the money. You can have on a white t-shirt. It just doesn't fit. Tom Ford, when he's not in his $10,000 suit, is wearing Fruit of the Loom t-shirts around his multi-million-dollar house. Pushing back, what it really comes down to is guys have to find a way to do it, and not reasons for why I can't do it. It's not an either or thing. Life is for men is an and thing. How can you get it done? I think back to my grandfather, fourth grade education. He never made a lot of money, but I remember my grandfather always dressed like a man. When he was in church, the one suit he had looked nice. When we'd go out to eat, if we did go out to eat, he always looked like a man. He never looked like my generation. So you know what I did? I started modeling myself out to my grandfather. So much people like you dress like an old man, because they saw me dressing in a certain way, and I didn't like to be wearing the kiddie stuff. I wanted to be like my granddad. A lot of us did not see men growing up in the household or in the neighborhood, uh, and it is what it is. You know, globally, I mean, countrywide, women buy 73% of all men's clothing. Your mama is gonna buy you clothes for what? You to grow into. We ain't got. She gonna buy you clothes so you can look cute. And men dress for outcome. So a lot of the stuff we learned about how to put clothing together and stuff like that, we learned it from women. And so you got a lot of grown men walking around dressed like little boys. And then people get mad when I say that. And I say, okay, prove me wrong. Go to your local mall this weekend, camp out in a food court and watch. You will see the majority of men dressed like fifth grade boys. Jeans that don't really fit, some tennis shoes of some sort of graphic t-shirt, and maybe a hat. What's the difference between the boy that's playing on the monkey bars and a 40-year-old dad? There's no real difference. And that's a modern thing. When we were growing up, Kids dress like kids, adults dress like adults.
Are we as men, do we get caught up in trying to retain our youth? Because you said something a few minutes ago. You talked about, if you go to the mall and you see brothers, because I see brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and I see brothers that's my age, because I'm in my 40s too.
Mm-hmm.
And I see brothers still walking around with shirts that go down to their knees like skirts. um
Mm-hmm.
I see brothers with their pants down to the behind their damn knees, and they like 45.
Mm-hmm.
um they 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 walk around like this, and they're actually comfortable with it. They don't even look uncomfortable. If I dress like that, not only would I be uncomfortable, I would make my woman uncomfortable because
Mm-hmm.
of our ages. She would be like, Xavier, what the hell do you have on? That's that I would make her uncomfortable if I got on a shirt that's so long it looked like a skirt, and my pants, you can see them up under my long ass skirt of a shirt. and,
Mm-hmm.
and I see brothers like that, and the only thing I can think is they're trying to hold on to their youth.
Yep.
um
Well, let me.
Maybe they think they're being fashionable. I don't know.
Okay, so arrested development mentality. In general, people in the westernized culture, especially in the United States, people are always trying to hold on to their youth in westernized societies. You know, in the East, Chinese people, they have reverence for their elders. Over here, we like things new. Let something get old, it's out of style. So we've adopted this never die attitude. That's why you got 40-year-old, women still out in the club. Men too. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of being in this society, this culture. Then you throw on top of that men, black men in particular, haven't really had many guides. When you grow up in your household, it's you, your mama, you're around your brothers and sisters. If you have a father, you're in the minority. You go to school, what? Most of the teachers are female. You're around women most of your life. And I've said that women already buy clothes to help guys look cute, such and so forth. So the most validation and all that kind of stuff guys really get is when they're in their early years. When guys get into their teen years, they don't have a lot of men who are helping them develop into the next stage. Their 20s, it's just a repetition of their teen years. Their 30s is just a repetition of your 20s. Your 40s is a repetition of your 30s. You still stuck at basically 12 years old. But you know what? You're comfortable because at 12 you could still play Xbox when you want to, and you could sleep in late. You have good memories of those things. See, I couldn't wait to grow up. I didn't want to sit at the kiddie table. There was rites of passage. I could not fucking wait to get off that kiddie table at Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Now we got kids who can sit at the grown table at any given time. There's no prize for growing up. There's no rite of passage. There's no, all right, man, you need to put up those childish things, and yeah, you need to take those sneakers off and put on these shoes. But in exchange for that, you're gonna get more responsibility and teach you how to dress. I mean, think about it. When we were kids, we wanted to dress like I wanted to dress like the grown men. I was racing for that. Now we are backwards. Now folks want to still stay young, but you ain't. And so what I try to do is I show guys how to dress appropriate for your age and then appropriate for your outcome, because I don't know about you, but I love my 40s. My 40s are better than my teens were. If someone would have told me 40 would have been as cool as it was, I never believed it. So if it's something to look forward to, but how many men really in their day-to-day lives have men around them flagging them on, saying, keep running that race, son. Come on, young blood, keep going, keep on, come on, keep going. All right, you got to give up. You can't do what you did in your teens, in your 20s. Yeah, you can't do in your 30s what you did in your 20s, but you can do this. You can't do what you did in your 30s and your 40s, but you can do this. Like there's never like the next level. So we stay where we think is good, and it's not.
Yeah, because I always believed that, because I look at myself now, and I've talked about this many, many times. Those of you who follow the Prophet of Thought series have heard this story many times, but I'm going to tell it again. Um, when I was younger, I feel like I was less of a man. I had less. I didn't have as much money as I have now. I didn't own my own business. I drive a nice vehicle. I didn't when I was younger. I have life insurance. I have, money in the bank. I own a few stocks here and there. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like now I'm more into my manhood than I ever would have imagined in my 20s. So
Mm-hmm.
now, do I sit back sometime and wish that the things I know now, I wish I knew them in my 20s, but by no stretch of the imagination do I want to relive my 20s, relive my 30s, because when I was in my 20s and 30s, I didn't feel like I was a real man because I didn't have the shit that real men had.
Right.
Okay. I do now.
Mm-hmm.
I have it now. So why would I want to look back? Why would I want to face back? And why would I want to look like I looked when I was 20? And brothers, when I see brothers like that, because I know a few brothers like that. I mean, they still dress like they're 15, man, and they're my age and up, and
Mm-hmm.
they dress like they're 15 years old.
Yeah.
Pants still hanging off their ass, cap turned to the side, long ass shirt at someone's damn wedding. I'm like, man, are you serious?
And,
Are you serious?
and you think about it, but you've kept, so your development has not been arrested. You've kept evolving. It's kind of like looking on somebody's, you hire people.
Hmm.
Somebody can say, man, I got 20 years experience in my field. And the question that I had to learn how to ask is, do you have 20 years of evolving experience, or you have 20 years of the same 5 years, or the first 5 years? Did you stop moving? So many people, you can look at where we have our first trauma or our first problem. That's where a lot of people get stuck. Uh, and being a man, we have to fall down. You have to, do what we do, scrape our knee, fall down, get up, learn the lesson, and keep it moving. So you're an anomaly. I'm more of an anomaly. When we were growing up, we weren't the anomalies. So you heard guys talking about, hey man, keep growing, keep doing this, grow such and so forth. There was always something down the line. This is why I love being online right now, to where you can have you be where you are, I'm where I am, but like-minded men around the world making these masculine male spaces to where the young cat in his teens or 20s can be given another something to be, another vision of what can be out there, other than thinking life is over. I mean, think about it. I know a lot of cats that didn't think they were going to live to be 25. They were just
Me
living.
too.
They were just living for they. You know, Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle was quoted saying that if he had known he was going to live as long as he did, he wouldn't have lived the way he did. His brothers, his father, all the men in his family died of Hodgkin's disease, cancer. He thought he was going to die by 30, so he just lived, drank, partied, um, and really destroyed his body, his liver, his career, because he never thought he was going to live past 30. A lot of cats you talking about who dress that way, what are they doing? Are they
Nothing.
so what difference does it make if you still again maybe they still stuck uh, in their mentality where in their teens or their early 20s. They never thought they'd get this far.
Mm. Yeah, well, a lot of these brothers that are, I guess it all connects because a lot of these brothers that I know, they still living in mom's basement as well. So, I mean, I guess, lack of evolution affects you in many different ways, not just the way you present yourself, your image, the way you dress, your lifestyle, all of that, plays a part in it if you don't grow, you
Mm-hmm.
know. More than likely, if you still living in mom's basement and you 45, you probably do still dress like a teenager because you live your life like a teenager. You're still down there playing Xbox for 9 hours out of the out of the damn day instead
Well,
of doing something with yourself.
and there's no way to, and I don't want to try to generalize everybody, but let's just say some people may have a real hardcore justification for why that is. For the other ones, though, there's no way to be a 45-year-old man to have that kind of situation as you described and really feel good about yourself. We know that ain't right. It's like, there's something inside of every man that wants to be better. We have to almost fight against that. You know when you bitching and whining too much, when you need to just suck it up and figure it out. You know that I do too. Now, it may be different for you than for me, but at 45, even if that's an exaggeration, living at home with mom, but I guarantee you, it's just cause all he got is mama. If he had daddy, daddy would have done him a favor a long time ago and put his ass out.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's one of the things fathers do for. That's why what I like to see so many women come over here to understand that one of the men provide structure, discipline, and consequences. Men, we learn best from consequences. Don't touch that stove; it's hot. Don't touch that stove; it's hot. Ow! Some people learn it the first time. Some people learn it the fourth time. But the fact is, you learn. Dads are much better. Men are better at letting you fail, and say, "All right, keep coming this way." That's why you also see so many men who get stuck because we got too much of our mother's influence in us. That's why I bring it back to the women across the culture, across the country. Women buy 73% of all men's clothing. I know. I'll say this to any women listening: if you have sons, you need to understand you're complicit in keeping your son at a certain level if you don't put him around men and let him develop. You can't. We see a lot of time. I mean, I know guys right here on YouTube um, who outwardly they got their stuff together, but inwardly they're still struggling to get free of their moms. And it comes through. And how this all relates to image is your image is more than just your appearance. It's your behavior, your communication, your online presence. When you're doing man shit, a man takes care of what he values, regardless as to how much money he makes. The first car you bought with your own money, even if it was a little sugar shaker hoopty, you kept it clean as he could. You had one of them air freshener trees in there. You had the best music you could have because you paid for it. You took care of that. Okay, but you look at you, but you can tell guys like the ones you talk about don't value themselves because they don't take care of themselves. So you
True.
can't walk around talking about I want to be respected. Put your respect on my name. All this other kind of stuff. If you don't respect yourself,
Exactly. Do you think that as men, should we be letting women buy our clothes? Like if you let's say you have a wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever you have, should you allow her to buy you stuff? Should you just buy it yourself? Should you allow her to buy your stuff?
at this point, no, because we're in crisis. Can your wife go out? Could your woman go out and buy you some Blue de Chanel cologne because she knows you like it? Yes. Should she be the one deciding what you wear? No. Because as a man, you're dressing for outcome status. You're a business owner. You're a boss. You're in the purview of men. Men, we judge each other and evaluate each other on image also. So think about those cats you talking about. Even if they're your homies, you judge them. They know that. So if the mom is buying them, you judge them. They know that. A easier way to be, a way to improve in your eyes would be for them to do something different, carry themselves different. And honestly, the second reason I don't think women should be buying men stuff is because honestly, no offense, ladies, but you know it, you're selfish. A woman will spend a year hunting a purse, watching the purse go on sale. All that shit, oh, it went down $1, it went down $10.
Like stocks.
Mm-hmm. But then then they man will need a shirt or a tie. They'll just go grab one. Oh well, shit, yeah, he'll like it. He don't know the man, no way. Wait a minute, you put all that thought and effort into your shit, but when it's time to get his stuff, it's like and then you walk around looking like Boo Boo the fool. I think men should know how to do this stuff themselves, know their own tailor, know their own shoe repair place, so you can handle it because it's your tools. Clothing are your tools. You wouldn't let your wife go out and buy your tools. Don't let her go out and buy your clothes.
Exactly. I damn sure wouldn't let my wife go buy jack to go in my shop. But yeah, I wouldn't trust her that way. Well, actually, early on, when me and my wife first got together, she would buy me things, but she wouldn't buy me like outfits or nothing like that. She still buys me socks.
Oh, yeah.
She'll buy me socks. She'll buy me boxers, if she come across, a deal, gotta be a deal,
Right.
But she'll buy me boxes and socks and stuff like that. But like my other stuff, I buy that shit myself, because I don't really trust her judgment like that. Just like I wouldn't have her buy me I wouldn't have her buy me an air compressor to go in my damn machine shop. I just wouldn't. So why would I want her buying me a pair of pants or a jacket or a shirt? I wouldn't want her doing that. And if she is doing it, I'm standing right there saying, no,
right.
Not that one. Not that one.
Because as a man, I mean, if she bring you home something that's not going to really line up with who you are, you don't like it, you don't want to have to feel guilty about wearing it. And then if you don't wear it, you don't have to deal with the fact that she going to have her feelings hurt that you don't want to wear it. Socks and boxers are cool because you've already said, I like these kind of socks. I like these kind of drawers. That's perfectly fine. And honestly, more women would really like to not have to do it. I've never I still style women. I'm starting to do it more, but you hear them talk about, I hate having to shop for him and me. They don't want to. They want to spend their time thinking about them, and that's cool. That's in their nature, though. Yeah, and honestly, I love to work. I love it when I have men who actually bring their sons to a consultation, and seeing a man help his son learn how to navigate image and style and shining shoes and tying ties. These are bonding things for fathers and sons. Man time, man shit. We need more of that.
Yep. I mean, my father, he taught me how to tie ties. And see, I tell people this stuff all the time too. I mean, I was a fortunate brother.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a nuclear family. I have 5 older brothers who were a lot older than me. I mean, my closest sibling, we're 7 years apart. So when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I had a brother that was 14. I had a brother that was 16. I had a brother that was 17,
Right.
So I grew up around a lot of males. I grew up around, and my father, I tell everybody, my father was like a silverback gorilla. So I grew up hard, I grew up fast, but I grew up learning man shit all my life. You know, I was raised by my father. I mean, my mother had very little influence in my life, very little. So I was basically raised man style, doing man shit. He expected us to know how to tie a tie. He expected us to know every damn wrench inside his toolbox. My father had a landscaping business, you know, when I was a young guy. Shit, by the time I was 12 years old, shit, he had me driving payloader, forklift, dump truck. You know, I was operating all that shit at like 12 years old. I could operate all of that shit. You know,
what was that movie? Was it 300 where talk about being raised as a Spartan boy?
Yes.
You was with your mom until what, 7? And then from that point you were around men.
Yep.
What would it be like today if for the first 7 years you got your mama's love, care, nurturing, all that, but from that point on, you said you were 12 years old. What I'm looking at is you had 5 years work experience.
Yep.
I mean, and sadly, I mean, how many young cats do you run across today? Can't change an oil, can't change a tire. The stuff we're talking about, you know, just minimal handiwork is just unheard of with them.
Yeah.
And then, go ahead.
And I think a lot of that is due to because they haven't been taught image. They haven't been taught image. They haven't been taught image. Therefore, how can they follow up? How can they follow up with acting like a man, dressing like a man, having the image of a man because they've never been taught, you know, man stuff. So of course they don't dress like men. Of course they don't act like men. Of course they don't carry their damn selves like men.
And then it comes out because you even look at all the stuff that's going on right now, and I hear the disconnect so much. As the content creators who have a name, who have a following, such and so forth, the people who you're affecting right now and the people who are coming after you, we're role models for guys out there looking for what you had growing up. And when guys are getting on their channels, and I just hate to hear so much whining and complaining, and there's just so much information and so much positive stuff guys can be learning here if we would just put aside, you know, I don't want to say beef, that's not the right word, the image of men is so damaged to where you got younger guys actually coming at old heads like they on the same level.
Yeah, exactly.
What you in your 20s and you coming at guys in their 50s and 60s like y'all are peers. In what world does this exist? But it can only exist in a country or a society where the image of manhood is so torn down to where you actually revere women more than you revere an older male. And whether you agree with the older male or whatever, there's stuff to be learned. There's wisdom to be passed down. We got so many cats today who have book learning and education, but so little wisdom. And you know, part of what was that on the what does it take to be a good king? To be wise. To be a wise man is to understand that your image is important. It is important, just like your word, just like your code. Because at the end of the day, a lot of stuff can be taken from you. But if you have those things, you will always be a man on your terms.
Exactly. Hold on a second, brother Samuels. I'm noticing some stuff going on inside the old chat. I don't know what's going on with you, yada for tube. Your wrench has been taken because you're acting up, and now you are at the mercy of my moderators. So whatever they want to do to you, they know they have full girth to do. So if you want to remain to be able to speak in this chat room, you might want to kind of just chill out because, like I said, now you're at their mercy. So there you have it. Yeah, you're at their mercy now. Yeah, I don't have anything to do with it. You're at their mercy. Uh, this is the thing with, we talked about how, brothers haven't really been taught man stuff, and they they don't dress like men, they don't think like men, they don't act like men. Do you believe that because a lot of us haven't been, taught the man code, so to speak, the proverbial man code, we haven't been taught it, and we grow up, we get into our teens and our 20s? Do you believe brothers who haven't been taught the man code by, say, an uncle or a father or a grandfather or a cousin or whatever, can they eventually learn it? Can they learn it when they 20? Can they learn it when they 30? Can they learn it when they 40 even? Can it be learned? Can it be turned around?
Oh yes, just like alpha, beta, sigma, gamma, delta, lambda, omega, zeta. You can move. You can move. You can move if you're willing to do the work. Can you be taught it? Yes. The knowledge is out there. Will you do it? Will you do the work? Is the thing. See, to the first step for somebody like myself who was raised by a single mother, who basically was raised in a coven, who had the pimp and the preacher, my uncle and my grandfather, as the masculine influences, but so much feminine energy. The first thing for me was having to say, enough, this ain't right. Y'all are spoiling me. Y'all gonna make me a punk. I had to look myself in the mirror and see who I was. I'm a shy, scared, fearful, pampered little pretty boy. I ain't feeling this. Got to look at yourself where you are and say, all right, I don't want to be this way. And then you got to humble yourself. And you hear this often: when the student is ready, the master will appear.
Mm-hmm.
But the student has to be ready. Yeah, you can learn all this stuff. It's taught to other groups of men, but you have to put yourself in a position to where you can learn. Like let's say an example of a video I made for BGS on that Lawrence video, where on BGS's channel, he got such a pushback to where he had to have an impromptu live stream to kind of uh, talk about all the pushback and negative stuff. But on my channel, it was 180 degrees opposite. It's because over on there, they were ready to be taught. On BGS's channel, this was new stuff. And the first thing they heard was, you coming on here trying to tell me I got to worry about these bitches and hoes and dressing and playing the white man's game. And same video, two different outcomes. But what I noticed is there were more guys who wanted to learn it, and they actually came over to my channel and started listening, and they hit me up in the comment section or emails like, man, when I first came across your channel, you pissed me off because you told me to drop the Jordans and this and that, and I didn't want to hear you, but now that I've heard you and I've done this, I've done that, and it's made these kind of changes in my life. That's huge, man. That is huge. And these are grown men.
Well, let's talk about that. Do you think that often brothers, instead of dressing a certain way, because I used to hear that too from time to time, when you dress nice, the first thing they say is you're dressing white, you're dressing preppy, you're dressing whatever. Do you think that is a big fear of brothers? That's why they won't dress age appropriately, because they're afraid of being labeled, for someone to say something stupid like they dressing white.
And I'm gonna tell you, Black people, we are good for making $1 out of 15 cents. When we put our mind to something, we tend to be the best at it. We entered into sports, we quickly excel. Entered into music, entertainment, we quickly excel. We had the best restaurants. We are good when we decide. We are naturally stylish people. We naturally have flavor and flair. But the one thing that is a natural thing to all Black folks in general, style and an image. And we're not even focusing in it. If we decide to just turn our eye to it and give it just a half a bit of knowledge, we'd be blowing other cats out of the water. They are happy that Black men don't don't want to compete, don't want to value their image because they couldn't keep up. They don't have our skin complexion to where they can wear almost anything on the planet and look good in it. Even when a man of color is a bigger dude, he can still rock stuff that dudes who are lighter or white can't because the architecture looks wrong. So yeah, a lot of times guys don't want to do so because they don't want to be labeled as gay. Gay is huge. You gay.
Are you
Like I'm
gay?
like, it's like saying you use the right tool in your shop that makes you gay. You took care of your car that makes you gay. Your house is clean. You gay. Man, get the out of here with that gay. But see, when you raised by mama, when your manhood is so tender, when you a tender dick dude, and the slightest word could check your manhood, you're fragile on the inside. As soon as somebody say something, you get triggered. So you go to hyper masculinity. Now the good thing is we got enough people, especially on this side, who talk about this kind of stuff, to where guys understand it's a matter of degrees. Look, you ain't got to walk around in a suit all day. That's not what I'm saying. It's just make sure your stuff fits, make sure it's taken care of, make sure it's neat, make sure you dress age appropriate, season appropriate, dressed appropriate for the where you're going. That is it. I don't care about brands. I don't care about nothing else like that. And then let life come to you that way. Um, we got to get to the point to where you are doing what you do for you. And that's why I say on my channel, somebody prove me wrong. What's the downside to being the best version of yourself each and every day? What's the downside to you? Getting out of the house every day, doing what you do for X, doing what you do for iQuizzle, doing what you do for Soul Shader, doing what you do for Kendra. What's the downside for when you wake up and when you look at yourself and be like, man, yeah. What happens out there is just an after effect.
Well, we here live with brother Kevin Samuels in the house, dropping that good manhood jewel on y'all. Y'all need to be taking notes. And while you listening to brother Samuels drop jewels, you need to be dropping some likes up into this here area
Right.
right here. You need to be dropping some likes up in there. And if you're feeling really generous, you need to be dropping some coins right here. You see the Streamlabs, see that right there? Huh? You see that? As a matter of fact, I'll put it up there one more time for you just in case you can't see it. There you go. Right there. You might want to be dropping some coins in that bucket. So you want coins in this bucket, likes in this section. Coins in this bucket, likes in this section. Thank you very much. Um Now, when a brother wants to get dressed, because you know you have occasions where you have to get dressed up, where you're going to a wedding or something fancy. How should a brother dress when they want to dress up? Should it always be a suit? Should it your opinion, your, or should I say your expertise?
Um, look, I'm a suit guy, but no, it should not always be a suit. Every man needs one well-fitting dark suit to go out and you're taking your wife out to a nice restaurant. You're going out to a concert or something like that. But when you're just going out every day, again, it should fit. Smart casual. Right now, what I'm wearing is just some jeans, a white t-shirt, and a zip-up sweater. I could go anywhere in some double monk strap shoes. I could go anywhere. And that's the thing. It has to be, it has to fit, and you need to really know what your style personality is, meaning what really kind of works for you. Somebody who has much more kind of hip hop street artist kind of style, them putting on a suit is going to look really out of place in the places I would wear a suit. So You really got to just figure out where it is you're going. And here's the simple rule: how's everybody else going to be dressed? Dress one level above that.
Mm.
You know, what I hear a lot from the women is they love their men, but they wish their men would dress better because a lot of times they get embarrassed because their men don't dress like that. They go out looking nice, and their men are dressed like still they just got off the playground or something.
I think that is because I've seen that too. I mean, I've been out with my wife and we go places and you see this woman, man, and she has on this nice dress or this nice gown and she's dressed really, really nice. And
Mm-hmm.
she's walking with this dude who's got his pants hanging off his ass.
Mm-hmm.
He freaking got on a freaking he's got on one of those skirts as I call them.
Right?
And she's dressed like, elegantly. Well, I guess because, I guess that's she prefers this brother for whatever he is, but you would think that if you taking your woman out on a nice night on the town, that you at least want to be dressed almost as nice as she is dressed. You would think.
Dude, I tell you, when I was on sister's platform, she's working on the inner beauty movement, and that is one of the main things I hear women talking about. You guys are telling us you want us to be feminine and keep ourselves and looking nice, such and so forth, and then we look this way, and you going out, looking like you just gonna stand on the corner, and they don't know how to tell dudes that. Um, because they don't want to hurt their feelings and this, such and so forth. But that is a desire. So that's why I say, guys, make sure it's neat. You know, darn sure this. The go ham on the Jordans again. Put on some dress shoes. Wearing sneakers out all the time. Put on some loafers or something. Instead of the jeans all the time, put on some slacks. Put on a button-up shirt. Throw on some cologne.
Mm.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, man. I mean, at some point, man, I think a lot of us brothers, man, we just don't want to grow the hell up.
There
I
you
think,
go.
yeah, we don't want to grow up. We don't. We're damn. We're not Toys R Us kids. We're Boys R Us kids. We
Mm-hmm.
can't leave that boyish shit behind because for whatever reason we think that it's still swag for us. To dress the same way we dressed when we was 20. Now that we 45, we think that when you 40, when you're 45,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't be trying to be cool. You're either cool or you're not at
Right.
45. You shouldn't be still trying. And I
Right.
think a lot of us are still trying to be something that we should already be by now.
Remember I talked about the arrested development? That's what I mean. The arrested development. So whatever you are at 45, you are that. Even if you are, let's just say you're a classic man, you're never gonna be had that bad boy edge to you, like the bad boys do. But you do classic man well. Do whatever you do well. And that is what makes you cool.
Well, I got you here so I got to talk about some colognes. Now,
Okay.
um scent is definitely a form of communication. I know that's a form of communication.
Oh yeah.
So, when you roll up, what should you smell like?
Uh
Definitely, I know you shouldn't smell like BO, but I mean,
right.
what should you smell like?
First of all, let's just take the general. You need to smell like a man. So something is distinctly masculine. So let's say something like this right here, Aqua di Profumo. This is straightforward, masculine, sexy, can be worn by any guy, any age, any place, any season, any reason. Um, or this, Blue de Chanel. These just smell like a man. Um, Something like this, something called Mugler cologne, Mugler. It's like you just got out of the shower in springtime. Irish Spring in a bottle. Overall, those are you want to smell masculine. And really, first off, where you're going, it depends on where you're going, what you're doing. You know, if you're going out, you're going to a club, that's one thing. You're going to work, that's another thing. But in general, let's just say, as a general scent, you want to smell good, but you don't want your cologne to announce you. You want it to discover you. Women have a higher sense of smell. And I would tell you this, tell you often that a guy gains 2 or 3 cool points just by wearing cologne. It is one of the biggest missed opportunities that any guy can have. Huge missed opportunity. So wear your cologne, fellas, every day.
Do you think it's possible to be over scented? Can you be over scented?
Yeah, you can, but in general, it don't happen because we have such a anxiety about wearing too much fragrance. People don't wear enough. You want to spray on both sides of your neck, at the base of your throat, and then either on the back of each hand or each wrist or the bend in each arm. That's just in general. See, I said that, and most people are like, damn, that's a lot of cologne. It's really not. Really not. Um, and the fact that if you think what I just said is too much, you're one of those kind of folks that I'm talking about. Most people are like, well, uh, or you get taught by like the sales associate, you need to go 2 sprays max, or this is a 1 spray cologne. Get the fuck out of here. I do this for a living. No, no. You want people to smell you. If they're within 3 feet of you, somebody should be able to smell you. And you can communicate a lot through your smell, man. You can communicate dominance. You can communicate sexiness. You can communicate masculinity. You can communicate playfulness. Yeah, so many things can be communicated through smell. I mean, it's the first sense that develops in a human being, and it's the one thing that, and it's the one closest tied to memory. I mean, think about how grandma's house smelled at Christmas time, or such and so forth. Favorite cookies or something. That's in all of us. Take advantage of that shit.
What do you think about those scents that have like pheromones in them and they supposed to attract and all this kind of nonsense? What do you think of those scents?
I think most of them are horse crap. The best scents are for men. It's always good to smell fresh and clean. Always good to smell fresh and clean. Pheromones are really difficult. That's more of a marketing gimmick. But this fragrance right here is called Molecule 01. My favorite fragrance on the planet. It basically amps up your own body chemistry and helps other fragrances last. It's everything and nothing all at the same time. Um, and it kind of supposed to resemble a human pheromone. Um, and it's funny, some people that tell about it, they're like, I bought that, but I couldn't smell it. It's because it's such a big cologne note. It kind of makes your nose go out, so but everybody else can smell it. So good stuff.
So you can wear more than one scent at a time. You can wear 2 different scents.
Yeah, you can, but it's more of an advanced thing. I suggest most guys just buy a couple of fragrances you like and just wear them all the time. I've talked about like what you said when you work. Nautica Voyage, $15, $15 or $20 fragrance. You could douse yourself in that and smell good right there in the shop. Um, and it actually wouldn't conflict. It would actually go well with what you're wearing. And there's a cologne called Fahrenheit. Remember that?
Mhm.
Fahrenheit has this violet note in it that smells almost like gasoline or oil.
Mhm.
You're already covered in oil, so you
Mhm.
smell like you smell great in
I
Fahrenheit.
actually have some of that. It's
Yeah,
crazy that you mentioned that.
yeah. Fahrenheit will go right. Or like Bulgari Men in Black. It looks like a little black hockey puck.
Mm.
See, there's always something. There's always a way to capitalize on something.
Yeah, I had just bought something called I think it was called Realities or something like that. It was God, I forgot who made it. My wife made, she
I think I know
brought
which
it
one
to,
you're talking.
yeah, she
Yeah.
brought it to my attention, and she was like, "Oh, it's made by Ralph Lauren or Christian Dior, one of
Mhm.
those freaking people." And I wear it, I wear it when I go to the shop,
Mhm.
and people can smell it through the they can smell it through the gas and the oil and all
Yeah.
that shit. They're like, "Damn, man, I smell your cologne." See, I don't smell it for some
Right.
reason. I don't smell it.
It's
All I
called
smell is the shit I'm working in.
it's called going nose blind.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of times. So that's why a lot of times people are like, I can't smell the fragrance. People can smell you. And funny thing is, when people are saying, I can smell your cologne, what they're saying is, man, I wouldn't think a dude dressed like you or working in this environment would smell like that. But
Yeah.
but has anybody ever walked up to you, man, what the hell, man, I can smell your cologne, dude? Are they like pleasantly? Exactly.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, wow,
Yeah.
man, I can smell your cologne.
Yeah. Especially when like women customers, they come in
Yeah.
and be like, "Wow, you smell good." You
Mhm.
know,
You
you look
know,
like hell, but you smell good.
that's exactly
you,
what
look,
I mean.
you
Women
you
will
look
tell
like hell.
women will tell you all day long. You can be an average looking guy, and you will gain cool points because of smell. Because women, when they looking at a man in a certain way, they looking and say, "Are you clean? How are you gonna be in my presence? Or if we were to get bucket naked, what's it gonna be like? If you smell good, your breath smells good. You put yourself in a better position."
Absolutely. Even my wife, man, she acts different when I wear like certain scents. She'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
she'd be like, "You smell good." Yeah, boy, even her. And she's been around me forever.
Well, there
But
you go.
I put on that cologne, boy. She'd be like, what cologne are you wearing tonight? She actually asked me because I have quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a big giant collection, but I have quite a few, colognes because I buy, colognes here and there. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "Wow, what cologne are you wearing tonight?" And she comes smell my neck.
Mm-hmm.
She want to know what I got on,
And
so
tell me you don't feel like the man just a little bit more.
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So why guys ignore that? Why guys don't want to have that happen on a more consistent basis? If you know that happens with your wife, and you can be like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to smelling up on me and building me up and validating me. I'm good. I'm just gonna not worry. I'm
Mhm.
cool over here without all the compliments and the love and extra loving. Well,
Yeah.
please,
I'm
what
gonna
extra?
I'm gonna tell you something, and I would talk to one of my peeps. I would say his name, but I don't want to blow him up. But I used to talk to one of my people, and I tell him, when I take a shower at night, you know, after I, dry off and everything, I put cologne on before I get in the
Oh
bed.
yeah.
And he like, "Man, what you putting cologne on for, before you get ready to go to bed?" What the hell do you mean? I'm getting in the bed with my woman. I want to smell like cologne when I get up in there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. That's what I want to smell like.
Does he
And he
have a
was like,
woman?
no,
There you go.
no,
There you go.
no,
And,
no.
and there you go. You get out of the shower and you have a nighttime scent, but you getting into bed with a woman. He got the nerve to get attitude with you. Like, man, why are you doing that?
Yeah. He don't even have a woman, man. I'm like, yeah, and I wear because it's only I got a certain cologne that I will wear, like when I'm getting ready to get into bed. And then I have a cologne that I will wear like when I'm taking my wife out. And then I have a cologne that I'll kind of squirt on me, in the morning, before I get ready to go, to the shop and open the shop up and work. So, different scents for different kind of vibes, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what you want. That's what you want. Um, because at the end of the day, the people around you appreciate it and you get a benefit out of it. It's a win-win. It's a
Yeah.
win-win.
Yeah, plus when you put on certain scents, you feel a certain way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because sometimes you put that cologne on and you don't even be with your woman and you like go to the store or go to,
Mm-hmm.
the pizza shop or you in the promenade
Right.
and you can actually hear if you got on that good smelling cologne, you can hear women walk by saying, he
Mm-hmm.
smells, he smells good. You pretend like you don't hear it but you hear it. You hear it. So all of that the thing is this. I know you're a guy who's big into image, and
Mhm.
all those little things are part of your image, man. I believe, that's part of your communication. That's part of your, that's part of your shtick. That's part of your thing, if you will. I mean, and I think a lot of us, like you always say, I think we don't value ourselves
Mhm.
because we don't try to be the best us that we can be. We just don't. We don't do it. I don't know if it's because a lot of us don't have fathers, a lot of us have bad influences, maybe we were screwed up by our old mamas. I don't know. But
Mhm.
we don't value ourselves enough to have the standard for ourselves to say, hey, I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to be a man for me. I'm going to smell good for me. I'm going to
Right.
dress nice for me. I'm going to, do whatever for me.
Mhm. And that's why give yourself permission to feel good about you. So many men have been crapped on by this country, this society, down in manhood, to where you never heard of toxic femininity, female splaining. You know, guys have to give themselves permission to put themselves first. Be selfish. Now, that does not mean to, become a lifetime. You got to put yourself at the top. At the end of the day, you say do it for you. See Dark Man Jeff in the chat room, and we've had this conversation before, and I challenge him to wear cologne every day. And it's great to see guys when they finally do it, and the little pep in your step just for you is what I want you to do it. And then anything else that happens is just a side benefit. My
Yep.
internet is tripping over here. It is extremely windy outside for some reason, and my connection is struggling. Yeah,
Yeah, you are looking a little you're looking a
dude.
little blurry. I don't even know if it'll show up blurry on the playback, but
Yeah, dude. I don't know what's going on here. The upload
I
is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut off my camera and just go this way because I don't want it looking on. Maybe that'll help.
well, I just want to say that I appreciate you, brother, coming through tonight, brother Samuels.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I have a lot of respect for you, brother. I respect what you do. I respect your game. I respect the shit that you spit. I've learned a lot of shit from you, man. I have, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I've learned a lot of stuff, man, from watching your material. What kind of clothes to buy, what kind of colognes to buy. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a lot from you, brother. I have, and I'm pretty sure other brothers have too. Not just with clothes and colognes, but attitude,
Right.
aura, all of that, man. Having that powerful outlook, man, about your own self, man. I've learned a lot of shit, man, from watching your material, brother. I have.
And honestly, dude, as content creators, and thank you, because as content creators, we get so fixated on getting better, getting this out, getting that out, doing this, doing that. We are to do this at the level we do it. It takes a special person and that drive, and we sometimes don't even give ourselves time to sit back and say, you know what, I'm doing something good. This is a good thing. So it's good to hear people say, I appreciate it. When I get the emails and text messages, I mean, I've gotten some emails that are just like cut your breath off. Oh, guys telling you about how you really helped them. And first time ever hearing from them, I'm like, this is legacy, man.
Yeah.
So to the cats who out there who, you know, my life, I thought I'd be married. The way I thought my life would go, I'd be married for one woman for the rest of my life, 3 kids, traveling and all this other kind of stuff, big home. It didn't turn out that way. My life didn't turn out to. I don't have a son, so I have a daughter, but every man wants that legacy. But all the things that I thought it would be versus what it is, but we still have a chance to leave something, help somebody. And that's why I feel so bad for brothers who think they're just going to step out, be individuals, and step away from everything. I'm like, you can leave a legacy even if it ain't your DNA. Your
Yeah.
character, who you are as a man, you can actually impact and imprint uh, from here on. You just got to make the choice to be there. Make the choice to be there and then give of yourself. Um, and that's it. I just want to see more brothers actually, because we have so much talent floating around on these channels, even in the chat room. There are the next Kevin, the next Angry Man, the next BGS, the next X. You know, guys, we need you because other guys need you. I was on a Black Rams channel and I was talking about how mentor. You need to have a mentor. I need to be mentoring to somebody because at the end of the day, we all we got. We all we got, and especially black men. We damn sure all we got.
Very true. Very true. And I think that oftentimes we forget that, man. We lose track of that, and I don't think it's necessarily on purpose. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of inadvertent, because we get caught up in our own little individual bubbles. We get caught up in that, and you know, inside that bubble, man, it is crazy because
Mm-hmm.
the only thing you see going on is what's going on within that little bubble. So you don't pay attention to too much else.
Right.
Um, but I want y'all, if you haven't done so already, you need to go, and if you look down here, right underneath the description, you can see the link to Brother Samuel's channel. You need to
Mm-hmm.
go on down there and subscribe to it. Just look right down there, see where my finger's pointing. Look directly underneath that, and you will see the link to Brother Samuel's channel. So you need to get on down there, subscribe, hit that bell because the brother drops some really, really good information, and it ain't going to do nothing but help you. It's not going to do anything except help you. Think about that. Getting information that's only going to do one thing, help you. So you need to get on down there and subscribe and check out Brother Samuel's. Brother Samuel's, man, I say again, man, I appreciate this, man. I appreciate you coming through and taking some time out with us because I know you was on Black Ram before you was here. So, you've been, but you in demand, man. I've been seeing you around. You're in demand
Well,
because you that dude, man. You that dude.
I appreciate it, and you know, like I said, we got to help you. Check your Streamlabs too. Um,
Okay. Okay.
you know, the thing is, at the end of the day, I made it a commitment to myself. Really, I have to become the change for myself that I'm trying to seek in other places. Um, and if I just do what I say or what I'm saying for everybody else to do, it'll show. It'll show and the outcome. So I'm glad to be able to do whatever I can do. And anytime you want to have me back on or chop it up again, man, just hit me up. I'm more than
Oh,
welcome.
absolutely. I'm gonna be hitting you up soon, man. I
Cool.
love it when you come on, man. I told you, you that dude.
Thank, thank you.
You that dude, man. Yeah, I'm looking at I see I got quite a few donations tonight, y'all, but y'all know how I do it. I usually go through them in the morning, and you always get an old personal email from X, whether it's 5 or 500. I will sit at this computer and write every single one of you back. But the people who donate to me, y'all already know that. So you're gonna I appreciate the donations. And like I said, you're all gonna get a nice little email from old X, sat down, written and thought out, because I appreciate you spending your hard-earned money here, and you see value in the old T.P.O.T network. I want to thank everybody for coming through tonight, spending some time with us. I also want to thank the folks inside my chat room here because they are on top of stuff and they chopping the trolls' heads off, you know. Yeah, because I don't even really pay attention. Like I tell these troglodytes, you come in my chat room and start acting up, you're at my moderator's mercy. I mean, I'm not gonna, if they block you, I'm not unblocking you, I'm not doing nothing. Now I may unblock you a month from now,
Right.
but once they block you, that's it. You want to come in TPOT's chat room, guess what? you are at the mercy of my moderators. You just are. I mean, because whatever they want to do to you, they're allowed to do. I mean, that's pretty much has it. They have wrenches, but in my chat room, those wrenches are swords. Yeah, here they're swords, and they have free reign to chop your head off, arm off, leg off, whatever they want, ear off, whatever they want to do to you, they do. So let that be a warning to you. When you come into this chat room, have that in mind that my moderators will slice, dice, quarter you if you say anything crazy, anything stupid, anything disrespectful. It probably won't get past like the third line before you've been decapitated.
The way of the sword.
Yes, those wrenches are sword, people. Trust that. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming through. Like I said, my mods, good job tonight. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I do. Make sure y'all have y'all behinds here tomorrow, because y'all know tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, you will see the Unicorn 4 TLOT. The Ladies of Thought will be here live and direct. Lady Ming, Lady Classic, Lady Kendra, and Lady Cats. Tomorrow they will be talking entitlement, something for nothing. So it's going to be a good show. You know, the U4 always puts down a good show. They coming in with their breakdown and analysis, and of course, my black ass will be there too. You know, to talk shit. Yeah. So make sure you have your behinds here tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, for the Unicorn 4 broadcast right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. And make sure you stop by the website. It's under construction, but it's getting there, folks. The website is www.don'tevenTryIt.wikifoundry.com. That's www.wikifoundry.com. My bad. Don't even try it.wikifoundry.com. If you go there, there's some good things on there. Also, if you go there now, you will see the Unicorn 4 there. I'm in the process of building their pages as well. But when you go there, you will see them there. You will see their images, and you will see a brief bio of the Unicorn 4 team as well. But like I said, it's still under construction. So don't get mad at me if you don't see as much stuff as you want, because it's in the process of being built. Right. Also, make sure you check us out. Go to Prophet of Thought Series on Facebook. That's our main page. That's Prophet of Thought Series on Facebook. Go there, like, follow the page. There's always some good stuff there. You can follow the links to me, the links to the YouTube page, and the website. Also, you can get information on the Unicorn 4. And make sure you stop by the T.P.O.T bandwagon page. Send us a friend request. We'll make sure we click it fast. And also, stop by the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page. I think we almost to 3,000 members on there now. Go ahead, request to be a member. I've made it. I've talked to my admins, because y'all know a couple months back the admins was acting crazy. They was even blocking old X shit. So I've cleared it up with the admins. So you request to be a member, they'll accept you really, really quick, because they know if they don't, I'll jump down their damn throats. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's Prophet of Thought on Instagram. And guess what else we got, y'all? Twitter. You know that thing that I'm always telling you to follow us on. It's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, or I will haunt you in your sleep. Once again, I like to thank everybody for showing up, and I also like to thank my man, Brother Samuels, for coming through, man, and laying down some good information like he always does. And you're welcome on the old T.P.O.T platform anytime, my brother.
Yeah.
All right. So, with that, I will leave you with 3 words like I always do. Open your minds, and we out of here, y'all.
Cool.
The Prophet of Thought Series.
Peace, folks.
mind.